wild decision. Um, yeah, we'll get into that. I mean, look, apparently Zong Yadong wins by technical decision. It looks like if Cejudo would have stopped the fight, he would have won by disqualification, and he didn't. Right? He kind of let the round begin, and yeah, he lost. And I mean, look, I was betting for Cejudo. I find it extremely intriguing because like it's like the ref kept on pressuring, but he can't see. Supposedly he can't see from the eye. He said in the interview. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was a good fight. We kind of saw where Cejudo's at in his career. Um, I think his age is showing, and he might want to kind of revisit, maybe going down a division, or maybe it's time because like he looked 38, and he had a good couple of fights. Coming back against Aljamain Sterling, he had this other guy, Marab, but also I can't. I'm looking at it. It's like I don't understand. Even when the third round started, you're still getting the fingers extended by Yadong, and the ref isn't even paying attention, right? So it's one of those things where, yeah, it's just interesting overall. But like, look, there's chaos, and these things happen. I'm just literally as I'm typing this, I'm upping up the X stuff, and yeah, it was good. Young had the speed advantage, and he did good. He got a win against a former champion, but it's not the way to go. I think Henry should have should have not been peer pressure to start the round. He should have taken his time. He should have waved it off, um, and let it see what the ref was going to do. But yeah, he was interesting. It was a -200. He had moments of success at times where the odds would kind of shift to -160. But yeah, you got to give it to Yadong. I do hope Yadong just calms down with the legs, with the like I said, with the arm extending, because it was. I think it was a little bit too much. Um, yeah, way, way, way too much. So let's recap this card. So prelims are recorded. We have it on the other video, but let me kind of go in. I think we start with the Menefield fight. So going into this, Alonso Menefield defeats Julius Walker via decision. I think it was a very close decision. I think extremely close. Nobody, that could have gone either way. You had both gentlemen fighting at the bit, seeing who was going to kind of reign over the other one. And yeah, I mean, look, it was a very tough decision. Um, yeah, I didn't. It could have gone either way. So the judges got it correct. Honestly, sorry, the judges could have given it to anybody. Um, yeah, like I said, it's interesting how that unfolded. It's a good war. Walker started hard the first round. The odds had Walker at an underdog, and like he did flip the odds at a moment there, which that was pretty cool. Pretty good to see him kind of flip and see where he was at. And I mean, look, he is ready for the UFC. It was just like he went. Again, he's a big boy. He was weighing 232 pounds. Menefield was probably 220, 240 pounds. Those boys are big. So, yeah, shout out to Menefield. Got it done. Now we're looking into John Silva versus Melzik. I mean, look, that was an amazing fight. Wow. It started fast. Both had a similar kind of striking stance, kind of that Taekwondo karate stance. But it looks like when Silva turned it up, that is all she wrote. It was insane. He kind of clipped him, knocked him down. The ref was basically like, okay, well, go attack him. And Silva went on a barrage of strike, and he got it done. And it was extremely impressive. However, the ref should have not let it go. Shout out to Silva, stunner. He called Bryce Mitchell. I think, that would be a great fight. Why don't you have that fight in UFC Brazil? Make it a fight night card. Make both gentlemen main events. I think it's due. So yeah, John Silva defeats Smelsic via first round TKO with an impressive performance. Then we have what a lot of people were upset about is Rob Font beating John Matsumoto via split decision. Now, um, it was clearly first two rounds went to kind of Matsumoto. There was kind of some decisions where Rob had landed a couple of more jabs. So let me kind of look at the fight stat just so I can kind of see, because this is one of those fights where I mean I honestly I had a Masamoto winning. Let's check out the fight stats. Let me just double check. So fight stat here, it's already up live. Let's just check. We look at the Rob Font fight, and off the bat, one of the things, um, yeah. So here's the thing about it: the stats have Rob um, up every single round. Like we're talking about here. I don't know how much value they're giving takedown nowadays, but the first round, Rob outstroke John by 21-7. Landed 34, landed 21 per round. John landed 7. Heading into the second round, Rob landed 34. John landed 29 strikes. And the third round was actually very close. Is where Rob landed 40 and John landed 41, but I think that's when Rob kind of hurt him. Had him wobbly. Yeah, total strikes. It looks like it was equivalent across the board. Um, Takedowns. What are the takedowns? 7 out of 10 takedowns. So I think I don't know what's the value of a takedown, but he did land a lot of things, and it was impressive. This is a little bit too close to call, honestly. Um, Yeah, John should have taken this fight. I'm looking at the strikes, but are we not taking into consideration the takedowns and everything? But yeah, he got it edged out. John took that man's. Oh, he'll be back, and let's see how he performs. Font was a plus 180. Matsumoto was a minus 215. There's a reason why. Is that takedown was just insanely nasty to deal with. Then we go into the co-main event slot with Anthony Hernandez beats Brendan Allen. Allen was a plus 375. Hernandez came in at a minus 260. This was a very intriguing fight because once this started to, like, the first round, Brendan Allen just basically took over. And it was so bad that he ended up going into the second round at a minus 150, and Fluffy was a plus 120. Um, I'll try to sprinkle a little bit of money on Hernandez, which is, I mean, I think he could have taken it after that. But yeah, he recovered nicely, smoothly. Um, Allen's very inconsistent in the ring. Sorry, in the octagon. He he should have stayed standing up when it wasn't time to go down. He was scrambling. He was kind of being sloppy. I hope he looks at this performance and realizes, you know what, I need to take better care of how I manage the octagon when I'm winning a fight, because it was insane. And then after the second round happened, Allen was a plus 400. Hernandez was a minus 650. Round 3 starts, and similar the same. Allen had a moment where he could have been a little bit more successful, but he let it go because he has these wild scrambles. He doesn't utilize the striking, which to the death of me, I will never understand the reason why. Honestly, it's something intriguing that I personally won't understand, but it is what it is. I hope he learns off this fight. I hope he kind of evaluates what's going on. He's 2-0. He's 0-2 in his last 2 fights. Imavov, which is a good win. Imavov is a very excellent win, but he needs to get back into the component. And then lastly, as we spoke about, Zedong versus Henry via technical decision. As I said, I don't agree with how the third round was conducted. The referee was pressuring Henry. Henry wasn't able to see. Henry should have never. Um, he should have never fought. He should have been like, you know what, brother, I can't see. Let the ref stop the fight and figure it out. You need to figure it out via the scorecards, right, or whatever the decision had left. Like, it was just a little bit insane. 1 second. Yeah, so Cejudo should have opened up his mouth and be like, "Look, I can't see you from the beginning of the third round." Should have let them know. I mean, look, it cost them the fight because that would have been a technical foul, and that would have won Cejudo. That's not how you want to win. I understand, but it's still interesting, and judging these fights, like, at the end of the day, you're still bringing in bread. There's a win money. But yeah, he got it done. He should have, called for help, and he did. And it is what it is. He's gonna learn. We'll see how he kind of conducts himself. Overall, I think that it was a very good card. Um, there's a couple of bets that landed, and yeah, we're gonna kind of finalize those, get them uploaded, and we'll go from there.